Considering this car is almost 20 years old now, I still think it looks amazing on the road. Now, I know why you guys clicked this video. It's just because you picked up your very first E46 and you're looking to modify it, modernize it, and definitely bring it back to the modern era, especially considering how old these cars are starting to get now. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys some of my personal favorite mods I've done on my E46 to bring it back and completely modernize the car as a whole package. So to get things started, the very first mod I suggest you should be doing to your E46 to modernize it definitely has to go to a set of angel eyes for the car. This is definitely an extremely common mod, especially for the E46 chassis, because from the factory, they actually never came with halo eyes. And the best part about these halo eye kits is that there's probably a million different options you can pick from. You can get circles, you can get F-series style, which is like the style I have. You get RGB, cotton, you can get single LED styles. You can get ones that are just angel, you can get ones that are just amber. There's literally so many options you can pick from, and they're all over Amazon, eBay, AliExpress. There's also a bunch of aftermarket companies that also make angel eyes for the E46 as well. There's just so many options, even from the cheap to the very expensive range as well. Myself, I personally just love this mod because just look at it. It just makes the car look so much newer, makes the front end look so much more sharp and aggressive, and on top of that, definitely a budget-friendly mod. It's a fairly easy and cheap mod to also get installed yourself as well. Now for the next mod, let's go ahead and hop in my interior and I'll show you guys what's going on in here. Now for the E46 chassis, where things are going to feel the most outdated is definitely going to be in the interior of the car. As soon as you open the door for an E46, you'll realize that all the interior bulbs for the E46 are all halogen yellow style bulbs. Now the OEM style halogen bulbs that come with the E46 from the factory are just super dim and they don't have that much good light output compared to an LED style kit that you could have. Now when you go and upgrade to an LED style kit, it just brings the car so much more into the modern era, cleans everything up, makes the interior much more visible, especially at night, and on top of that, looks way more clean than your halogen style bulb. It's also an extremely easy mod to get installed as well. Like majority of all of these trim pieces in your interior just pop out with one clip and you just replace the bulb, and that's basically it. The best part of it all, this is probably one of the cheapest and most budget-friendly mods you could do to your E46. So now that your E46 is properly lit up on the inside, the next thing you're most likely going to notice is that the center head unit of the car is fairly outdated. Now in the mid to early 2000s, when the E46 initially came out, they were all equipped with a typical style CD changer head unit in the car. Some of the upgraded packages had a very small navigation screen, but even to today's standards, it's very outdated and it's nothing like what's in the newer cars today. Now, this is probably one of the most popular mods in the E46 community simply because it just brings so much functionality to your E46's interior. It's amazing. The head unit runs off Android OS, so it basically functions exactly like an Android tablet would. So you can basically go into this and kind of operate it exactly like how you would like a tablet. You can download YouTube, you can download Maps, you can download Prime Video, you can download Netflix, download games, you can play games. Also, another few ways I've also utilized it for my car is that I downloaded my front headlight controller as well as my interior controller for all these ambient lights onto the actual screen itself. So I basically just control everything through the center screen and never have to go on my phone or anything like that. Another super cool thing that you could do with this tablet is that you can go ahead and pick up one of those wireless Bluetooth OBD2 readers and then basically hook it into your OBD2 port, and then you can wirelessly connect to the actual tablet itself. And from there, you basically download an OBD2 scanner app, which then you can also display all your sports screens, so you can see things like your torque level, your instant fuel economy. You can also see what speed you're going. You can also see what engine codes are going on if you get a check engine light in the car. You could also do live diagnostic tools as well, which is also super clutch if you're trying to diagnose an issue. Also way more things that I'm missing, but that's just to generally sum it up. Overall, it's a really good mod to have in your E46, and I promise you won't regret it. Now the next mod I'm definitely going to have to recommend is going to be to pick up a steering wheel wrap for the steering wheel in the car. If you just went ahead and picked up your first E46, I can almost promise you the top of your steering wheel has definitely gotten some sun damage and has just worn out, and overall the steering wheel probably looks a bit faded. Now why I like the steering wheel wrap so much is because it's a very cost-effective mod. For a very cheap price, you basically get a brand new looking steering wheel because it covers up all the old cruddy fadedness from the older steering wheel that you had. You're just basically covering over it, so you don't even notice it once it's all covered. And then you could also go an extra step and get these trim pieces either hydro dipped or wrap them in carbon fiber. I also went ahead and replaced this button right over here, which literally only cost me 10 bucks to order. You also get these in blue, red, black, gray, white, any color you basically want. And then these paddle shifters are off a E46 M3 SMG, which I also installed myself as well. Overall, this steering wheel probably cost me less than 200 bucks, but realistically, it almost looks like a custom steering wheel, which is always nice because those cost probably around anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000. The next few mods I'm going to be stating definitely come down to personal preference because a lot of people have different tastes, especially when it comes to their plans for their builds. But in my opinion, ambient lighting is definitely one of them. I do feel like ambient lighting is something that's only been available on newer cars and definitely brings the car and makes it feel much more modern, especially considering how old the E46 actually is nowadays. On top of that, you can't deny just the ambiance and the actual vibe it brings to the interior, especially at nighttime. It just looks so good and it's super satisfying. The next honorable mention is definitely going to be a mod that I've seen available for quite some time now, and it has to go to a digital instrument cluster. Now, just like the center screen in the car, you're basically just completely digitalizing the whole instrument cluster in the car. And honestly, overall, it does look really cool. Definitely modernizes the interior of the car a lot, but the only issue is it's also very expensive. Next mod I'd suggest that you could definitely always do at home as well is to just rewrap all your interior trim pieces as well. Like over here on the dash, I went ahead and rewrapped these in Alcantara, which I think looks super clean. Definitely way better than the actual silver trim that was in the car. These are actually currently exposed because I just recently put this interior in the car and I still haven't had time to actually rewrap these. I'm still debating if I want to get these done in carbon fiber or just match it with the Alcantara on the dashboard. Still debating that. Another thing I could suggest that also comes down to personal taste. Me, myself, I also went ahead and rewrapped my center console, all these trim pieces over here. Well, actually, these are 3D trim covers that I also installed. But the center console is also completely wrapped in carbon fiber. And overall, I do think it looks way better than the flat matte plastic that comes from the factory. And definitely cleans things up and just makes it look a bit more sporty. If you really got some time on your hands, then you can go ahead and install a full Starlight kit on the car. And just keep in mind, for all the mods I just listed in the video, I have DIYs on my channel for every single one of them except the ID4 cluster, because I obviously don't have that. I'm too broke. And other than that, guys, that's going to be my full list in terms of what mods I think you should be doing to your E46's interior just to bring it up to the modern era. So if you guys have any questions or comments, you can always just leave them down below. I'll be more than happy to answer. And if you guys want to see more of my car, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I'll leave it on the page right here somewhere. And other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Now I stay away out here, say you're sorry.